Hello everyone, it's the Yogi here. It's the 1st of November, and we're just 2 days away from the presidential elections in the US. And I thought I'll make this video, a quick video on my predictions for the US presidential elections. I've been tracking the UK and US elections and the UK referendum and the associated pre-election poll data, which are done by reputable agencies, and there's a clear pattern of them getting it wrong again and again. And this is something that's been happening, circa 2015 and later. It's a weird trend, and I'm trying to put my finger on it. Why do all these pollsters get it so wrong? Which is what I'm trying to kind of numerically figure out what that error factor is and where that is coming from. I call it the pi factor, which it is difficult to define, but there is a clear margin of error that is going a certain way, and I'll try to explain that today as well, as much as I might probably make a separate video on that at some point in time. So let's just quickly look at the the summary of what the pollsters are saying. So if I go to 538.com, it's a reputable poll aggregator, and they have various tools available to look at all the different polls in one place. And if you see today, as far as the data from the 31st of October goes, Biden has a 8.6 percentage points lead. Okay, now in a normal circumstance, if you're trailing by 4 percentage points, I think 4 to 5 percentage points, you just stop spending any more money and then just give up, basically. And but the race is still on. The race is still on, and we'll see how that pans out. So let's now look at my predictions on based on me tracking poll data and how things really pan out in reality. I've just created an Excel sheet which tries to mimic this factor that I spoke about. Now, as of today, 538 is talking of a 8.6% difference. Now, if you look at the poll data here, so I mean it varies from there's a A-rated NBC Wall Street Journal poll which is giving Biden +10, and there's some other polls which are giving him even +12. Now there's some which are A/B rated which are giving Biden +5. If you look at yesterday's data, there's quite I mean it's slightly lower, but then it's the pollsters have been rated D- by 538. So I mean, and we'll see. I think how the data pans out tomorrow. That will probably be more important. But as of things stand today, I mean, if you look at this, I mean, if I were Trump, I would just pack up and not spend a single penny or dollar more on my election, because this is just wasting money if that were so. Okay, so let's look at the algorithm that have come up with to predict how this election is going to pan out. And this is, as I said, it's been me tracking this unique thing that's been happening, both in the UK and in the US. And it's like literally like you can, you get the pollsters data and then you add a factor into it and you can predict what the results will be like. Okay, so I have taken the inputs here, which is the pollster data, which is 538 is 8.6%, and then to this I add what is called as a pi factor, which I'll explain what it is. It's generally, it factors in the stigma of openly accepting voting for Trump or for Brexit. It varies between 4 to 5% generally. And then you have the poll margin errors as well, which is 2 to 3%. Okay, so what I've done is you take the 8.6% and then you take the pi factor, which is around 5%, and then there's a poll margin as per 538 as well. There's 2 to 3%. So I'm giving, I'm taking a 2% error margin and giving it to Trump. Okay, That leaves Biden with a net lead of 1.6%. It's just 8.6 minus 7 is 1.6. Let's look at the actuals data. Okay, this is 65 million votes that Hillary got, 62 million that Trump got, and the voter turnout was 55.7. Now let's do the votes prediction for 2020. So the turnout's going to be higher because of all the emotional things that have been going on in the US. I expect it to be 58%, but we'll see what the actuals are, and I can always plug that in. Anything in green is a plug-in point. So at 58%, you would expect at 1.6 net Biden lead to have a split of 68 million votes to Biden and 66 million to Trump. Okay. Now that gives Biden a lead of 2.146 million. Now this is what I think will be the more accurate prediction from this Excel sheet. Now from this, trying to extrapolate that to the electoral college is very difficult, because that's where because it's a winner take all at each of the state level. It's very difficult to add them up. But let me try something to take it a step ahead, and I've kept the logic quite simple. I think the lead required for Biden to win is 3 million. Okay, and to be honest with you, it's probably more. It's probably like 4 million, but I have taken a conservative figure of 3 million. So if the lead is over 3 million, no, Trump wins. And at 8.6%, which potentially, as I said, Trump should just give up and just chill out for the next few days, because he's going to lose it. But my data is showing me that provided you add the pi factor, which is the stigma of openly accepting voting for Trump, or for that matter for Brexit, and it's like it always varies 4 to 5%. It's never more, it's never less. Somehow the pollsters don't get that 4 to 5% gap which exists. And with the 2% error which I'm giving it to Trump, which again happens. Okay, this is an additional the error that is inbuilt into their processes, which in most of the pollsters claim the mistakes they did in 2016, the presidential polling. They thought that they had fixed those. I still think there's an error margin there, which goes towards the conservative side or the Brexit side in the UK's case. Okay. So let's see. Now I'll plug in this data tomorrow, and I don't know, maybe even day after, because I think today is the 1st. So we have data from up until the 31st of October. Sorry, 31st of October. So I'll plug in the data and let's see how that goes. But as of now, I think my predictions this is slightly more difficult to predict, but the votes that both the parties will get is as such, provided it's a 58% turnout. Thanks everyone, and I'll keep you all post more videos as I get more time. Thank you.